Welcome to the Success with Jewelry podcast, where we invite you inside our conversations about business success and marketing for jewelry designers and entrepreneurs.
We're Laryssa and Liz, jewelry marketing experts with a combined 16 years of experience in jewelry marketing and proven track records in helping jewelry brands meet their goals. When you listen to or watch this podcast, you get an intimate and exclusive peek behind the curtain of all the things you wish you could know about earning success in this industry.
Welcome to episode 18. In this episode, Laryssa and I will be talking about e-commerce analytics. More specifically, we'll be covering how to access your website's analytics, what are KPIs, and which metrics are most important to be looking at, what the numbers mean, and how you can use them to adjust your strategy. We also want to tell you about our insider community. When you join for only $20 a month, you'll have access to extended episodes full of tips that you can start implementing today and further resources about each topic we discuss. With this episode, we are giving our insiders a reporting template so they can start reporting on their website. To get access to this exclusive content, sign up by visiting successwithjewelry.com. Hey Laryssa, let's get into it.
Let's talk about this super important topic that is so vital to marketing performance. I think this might be one of our most important episodes.
It's so important, and this is a topic that I like, but you love.
I love it. Yes, I'm very passionate about it. We'll try to not nerd out and keep it accessible, but we highly, highly recommend to check out the extended version of this episode because we get more in depth. And as Liz said, we'll be sharing a reporting template. And that is really, I think, the hurdle that a lot of people have when it comes to reporting is figuring out how to lay it all out and document it.
But once you get into the groove, I've been reporting for clients for years now, and it just gets so easy, so streamlined, so fun to kind of see how your brand is growing. It's actually really exciting. These numbers are really exciting. Let's start with, how do you access your website's analytics?
Sure. So pretty much every e-commerce platform, what I mean by that is Shopify, Squarespace, Wix, they have some level of reporting. It's usually very high level, and most of the time it's focused just on the sales piece of the puzzle because obviously that's what's happening on the website and that's what they have the most insight in. But we highly recommend a free tool, Google Analytics. It is the most comprehensive reporting tool that you'll have in your arsenal. Again, it's free and you can really dig deep and learn so much about your customers and also gather that historical information over time as well. So that a year from now, 5 years from now, you'll be able to kind of have all of that historical data to understand your customers.
Setting up Google Analytics is really easy. And so if you're listening to this and you don't have it set up on your website now, go to Google, of course, and find a video that teaches you how to set it up for your website because it's really simple, and get that going now because you can just get so much great information from that platform. Let's talk about what numbers are really important. We broke it down into a few categories. The first one being consumption. So this is people consuming the content on your website. So page views, average time on page, unique visitors, and new visitors versus returning visitors.
Yes, those are all really important. I do want to mention that not every business will want to pay attention to the same key performance indicators or KPIs. What we're going to share is a general suggestion about what's important to monitor, but we'll talk at the end about how to pick and choose. So these are some general ones that we like to pay attention to. And they all relate to website traffic and behavior, basically.
The other category is retention, which is pages per visit. So how long people are spending on your page and how they're moving through your website. How many pages are they looking at? And bounce rate. Laryssa, do you want to describe what bounce rate is?
Yeah, bounce rate is a funny term. It has nothing to do with a bounce house or anything like that. It's basically the rate of percentage of people who visit your website who leave immediately, right away. They take no action. They basically don't look at anything. They just leave right away. And 60%, anything above that, I would say is too high of a bounce rate. So if you're lower than 60%, then you have a healthy bounce rate.
The next category we want to talk about is leads. So this is email signups and contact form submission. So this is something that might not be reported on via Google Analytics. This might be something that you have to calculate through MailChimp or another platform, but you want to know how many leads you're getting through your website. Are people signing up for your email list? Are they contacting you? This is where you're going to figure out who's interested in becoming a potential customer.
That's a great point that Liz made about pulling data from other places. So when you make this like central dashboard for your business, when you decide what you'll be reporting on, of course, most of it will be coming from Google Analytics, but you will have to look at other places like your email platform. If you're bringing social media data into it, you might have to look at Instagram or Facebook. So you can't find everything in one place, but that's why it's important to have one place where you're like keeping track of it.
Everyone should have a report for their business. I think it's so, so important. A couple other metrics to take a look at are traffic sources. So where are people coming from? How are they getting to your website? Are they searching you on Google? Are they coming from Instagram? Are they coming from your email campaigns? How are they getting there? And then another really important metric to look at is how people are viewing your site. Is it on a mobile device? Is it on a tablet? Is it on a desktop computer or a laptop computer? We want to know where they're consuming this content because that will be important for you to understand how to optimize your website for these different devices.
And when it comes to the e-commerce and shopping behavior, you'll also want to look at things like abandoned cart rate, which is the percentage of people who get to cart and then don't finish the purchase. And then also something like average order value, which tells you if the like average amount that people are spending is actually in line with your average price point, or are people like really cheaping out and only buying like the low price things, or are you actually doing well at selling the higher price pieces?
So let's talk about what these numbers mean and how you can use them to adjust your strategy. So if you have really low page views and people are not spending a lot of time on your site, you might want to think about how you want your visitors to navigate through your website and make it really clear. So having a prominent shop button is one way to do this. Make sure someone who gets to your homepage has a place to go and knows where to go.
Yes, it could also be a symptom of your product pages too, especially if you notice that most people are entering your website through a product page. Perhaps you want to put like product recommendations on that product page to give them like somewhere else to go browse instead of just leaving if they don't see what they like or if the price point isn't right for them.
I've seen some great product pages that have information when you scroll down about the materials used if you're using like Fairmine Gold or sustainable gemstones or anything like that. Or again, having, part of your story on your product page or some really great recommended products. But in general, your whole website should tell your story, but it's especially important for your homepage to tell your story. So make sure you're doing that, and that will encourage people to stay on your site longer. Another number that we look at and what we can do with it is if you have a really high bounce rate, you want to make sure your website messaging is in alignment with the rest of your content. So you're promoting the same thing on social media that when somebody does get to your website, you're promoting on your website so that they're not getting there and being like, this isn't what I was looking for. This isn't the brand I was interested in. It feels very different and leave very quickly. So you want to make sure everything is really in really good alignment.
Some other reasons why you might have a high bounce rate is that your website loads really slowly, or you have a poor mobile experience, or if you're running paid ads, that might be a reason for your high bounce rate because the people you're attracting through ads are not qualified, or it's like garbage fake traffic or something like that.
Another thing that we might see and we might want to fix is a decrease in site traffic. So something that's really important with your website, and we talked about this last week, we want to be, we can't just put a website up and expect people to go there. So we need a really strong call to action. We want to be driving people to our website. So if you're seeing a decrease in site traffic, you might not have that strong call to action. You might not be linking to your website consistently. You might maybe aren't having prominent enough links in your email marketing campaigns. And also you want to give people a reason to visit, which is a lot of the idea behind a blog so that you can keep updating your website and have a reason to send people there, or curated collections, refreshing your product, updating your homepage header. All of these things can give people a reason to go to your website and something for you to talk about. So make sure you're talking about it and you have a strong call to action. You also want to make sure that it's really easy to find your link. I sometimes go nuts with brands when I cannot find a link to their website. If I'm really invested, I'll go to Google and search them, but make it as easy as possible for somebody to find the link to your website. So the last one we want to talk about is low engagement. If you have low engagement, you want to make sure that it's really easy for someone to sign up for your email list or contact you. Do you have a prominent contact me button? Is it really easy to find your email address to get in touch with you? These are things we want to make sure are happening if you're not getting a lot of action from your website. You're not getting a lot of leads. You're not getting a lot of conversation with clients. Another thing is, do you invite people to engage with you? So in your copy, in the way that you talk to your audience on your website, are you encouraging people to get in touch if they have questions, or to have a relationship with you and contact you and talk to you and sign up for your email list to learn more? You want to be doing this to make sure you have a higher engagement rate.
The same advice that Liz just said would also hold true if you had a low rate of returning visitors. I see that happen a lot when there's not a clear way to sign up for an email list, because people will go to the website and they might even really like your stuff and be interested, but then they just like forget and go away and they never come back. If you're able to capture them on your email list, then however often you send an email campaign, that is one more chance to like inspire them to be a return visitor to your website.
Something else that has become just best practice is having links to your social media sites too. And that's a form of engagement, is somebody discovering your website, clicking to your Instagram and following you. So making sure that you have them in the bottom left-hand corner, top left-hand corner, wherever feels good for your brand, so that people can find you. Because that's something else that's driven me crazy before, is when I'm on a website of a jewelry brand I really love and I want to check out their Instagram page and I cannot find it. All right. So do you report on your website analytics? If not, do you plan to start after listening to this episode? Let us know. Again, you can visit successwithjewelry.com to sign up for the extended episode, as well as exclusive content, including a reporting template. Thank you so much for listening.